I'm Julie. Welcome back to the Picky Prepper Homestead channel. Today I have the chicken parmesan recipe as requested by my Aunt Kimmy because she apparently needed some help with her cooking. So over here I have all of the ingredients laid out. I have 3/4 of a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, a teaspoon and a half of salt, and 2 teaspoons of ground pepper. So I'm going to put all the ingredients into an empty bowl, big enough to dredge your chicken in. You want to make sure that your chicken is completely covered with the ingredients so that, oops, there's still some salt left in there. Okay. So that the chicken is completely covered in it. So I'm going to take the chicken and dredge it in the flour after I mix up the ingredients. Okay, there we go. You're gonna dredge it in the flour and ingredient. So I'm making a complete mess. This is messy. So then you want to take it and put it in an egg, 2 eggs, just beaten up. If you want to make more chicken, you're going to need more eggs to put it in. It all depends on how much chicken you're making. This is 2 chicken breasts that I cut in half. I have breadcrumbs here. These are panko. You want to use panko breadcrumbs. I can't stress that enough. Because when you fry the chicken, it gives it a really good crust. And it gives it a nice crunch. So you really want to have the panko breadcrumbs. I used to use the Italian breadcrumbs, but it never really came out very well. And then I got, someone told me about the panko, and I started using the panko, and it was fantastic. What a difference it makes in the chicken parmesan recipe. So you just continue putting your chicken through all the different ingredients. Make sure you definitely coat it well with the panko breadcrumbs because you want that crust on there. Missed spot. Okay, and you just put it on a clean plate until you're ready to put it in the frying pan. So we just can keep continuing on down the line. Do this as fast as I can because I'm sure it's boring to just keep watching me do the same thing over and over and over again. And get that egg on there good. Okay. I got some funky pieces of chicken here. Coat it real good. Sometimes you may need to add more breadcrumbs if it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough in the pan to do all the pieces of chicken. So you want to just add them as you go if you need more. You're going to end up wasting some because you can't add them back to the box, obviously, because you just had raw chicken in your breadcrumbs. So there will be a little bit of waste, and this is a very messy recipe, as you can tell by my fingers. Okay, last piece of chicken. There we go. And that's going to be just enough egg left to do this piece of chicken, which is usually how it happens for me. Okay, and into the last of the breadcrumbs, which there should be plenty left now to do this piece of chicken. Get it on there good. Alright. That looks good. And just lay it down over there. Okay, so while you are dredging your chicken, you want to start heating up your oil. I usually put mine on a low setting just to get the oil warmed up enough. And then when I'm done dredging my chicken and I'm going to be putting the chicken into the oil, I turn it up to about about medium heat. At this point, you also want to preheat your oven. I put mine at 350, and you also want to turn the water on for your pasta. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. One of the ways to check to see if your oil is ready is to take a few droplets of water and put them in the pan. If it starts sizzling, you know your oil is ready, and that is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting my chicken in. Now I'm using a cast iron pan. You don't have to use a cast iron pan, but I find that the cast iron pan works really well. It's also pretty easy to clean. Now I'm going to try to move these pieces of chicken over a little bit to get all of them in at once. The kind of oil I am using for this recipe is canola oil, and I put some olive oil in there as well just to make it a little bit healthier. But you are frying something, so it's not going to be the healthiest dish out there. So I'm going to let this fry up, and what I'm looking for is for it to be golden brown, and then I usually flip it over and then brown it on the other side. Once I'm done with that, I'll be putting it in the pan to put it in the oven. Once these fry up, I will come back and I will show you. So I've turned the pieces of chicken around so I can brown them evenly on both sides. You see how this is darker on one side and a little bit lighter on this side? So I have them turned around in the pan so that they golden brown evenly on each side. These usually take about 3 minutes or so to fry up per side. It's going to vary depending on your stove, whether you're using gas or electric. And it's also going to depend on the thickness of your chicken. I'm doing half breast. If you're doing full breast, it's going to take longer. So I'm going to flip these in a minute. Let me check this one again because it was very close. So I'm going to actually flip that one now. Check this one. That one I'm going to wait another minute or so on. And each piece of chicken in the pan is going to vary too. That one I'm going to turn because it's not evenly browning. Okay. So I'm going to wait for these to finish cooking up, and then I'll be putting them in the pan in just a couple of minutes. So now I am taking some of the pieces of chicken out. This one is finished, and I'm going to put it on a paper towel just to get the extra oil off of it. Check some of these other pieces. That one needs to cook a little more. I'm going to move that in the pan so that it cooks a little bit better. That one I'll leave in there for just another few seconds. That one's done. That one's moved out. So I'm just waiting on these two pieces of chicken to finish up cooking. I'd like to mention about 10 to 15 minutes before you're going to start grating your mozzarella, you can put the mozzarella in the freezer and it will be easier to grate. You don't have to do it, it just makes it easier to grate your cheese. It's something I actually learned from Giada off of the Food Network. So just a little tip for you there. So let me check these pieces of chicken again, this one especially. Oh, my water started boiling, so let me turn that down just a little bit. That one should be good. Okay, how are you coming along there? Okay, the breading kind of came off that one, but it's good. Unfortunately, my tongs kind of ripped off part of the breading. I'm going to turn the oil off here. Now, I use Newman's Own marinara. Usually I use the organic, but they didn't have the organic the last time I went to the grocery store to use it. Actually, let me move my pan over here so it's a little easier to see. So all I'm going to do is put the sauce in the bottom of the pan. I foil line my pans just to save me the headache of washing more dishes. because there's a lot of stuff that gets dirty with this. So I just put the sauce on the bottom of the pan, just enough to coat the bottom, because you're going to be putting sauce on top of the chicken as well. So just enough to coat the bottom. Then you're going to lay the chicken out. And you definitely want to make sure that you have either a big enough pan to hold all the chicken, or use a couple of pans as I screw up with my tongs. There we go. And one more, and I might actually not be fitting this all in there. Oh, no, I just made it. Okay, perfect. Set that aside, and now I'm going to put the sauce on top of the chicken as well. Nothing fancy, just put as much sauce as you want on your chicken. It's your choice on how much sauce you want on each piece of chicken. There's no fine measuring to this. Oops, as I make a mess on the jar, but I'll clean that off. Alright, so now you want to take your chicken and you're going to put it in the oven. There's no set time for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to boil my pasta. When the pasta's done, I'm going to take the chicken out of the oven. About 5 minutes before the pasta's done, I put the mozzarella on, and I turn the oven from bake to broil. This way it makes the cheese brown up a little bit, and it looks like restaurant Parmesan. So I will come back once I'm done. I'm going to put my pasta in. Pasta is going to vary on how many people you're feeding. So I will go ahead and put my pasta in now, and depending on the type of pasta is going to be how long it cooks for. So I use whole wheat pasta, so it's about 11 minutes for al dente. Alright, so we grated about, I'd say that's about a cup and a half or so of cheese. We're going to put it on the chicken now. You can use as much or as little cheese as you want. You can use part skim mozzarella if you want. This is whole skim. This is whole milk without part skim. Whoop, so I make a mess here. So we like a lot of cheese on our chicken because we're not going for healthy on this dish. But I do make this dish about once a week or so. We love chicken parm in this house. Alright. I usually save some aside for our pasta. So let me change this to broil now. Oops. Bake off, broil on. There we go. Broil on high. This is probably going to take about 5 minutes or so to get the the mozzarella browned a little. You don't want it completely black. You don't want all of the cheese completely browned. You just want a little bit of browning on your cheese. It looks nice, it tastes good, so we are going to wait for this to finish. The pasta's got a couple of minutes left. We're going to get the pasta out in just a couple of minutes, and I will be back and show you the finished product. Pasta just finished cooking, so I'm going to take that and strain it. Let that sit there for a minute and let the water drain out of it. You can use whatever pasta you want in this dish. It doesn't really matter. I use rotini, I use penne, I use regular spaghetti noodles. Use what you want. It doesn't matter. You can do whole wheat to be healthier. You can do regular pasta. It doesn't really matter. Use what you like. So I'm going to get as much water as I can. Woo! Off these noodles. Don't stick your face in the steam. Okay, we're going to put the noodles back in the pot. Now here's where my picky eating comes in. I do not like sauce on my pasta. So I take my pasta and I take it out now and I put it on my plate. And I put some cheese on there. Again, guys, not the healthiest dish. if you eat it in moderation, it's not so bad. So now that my pasta has been taken out, I will take the sauce and I add it to the pasta. You don't have to do it this way. You can put sauce in a container and leave it on the table so people can add whatever they like, such as in one of these. I did this last time when my parents were over and I made this. So I just mix up the pasta. You can add, again, as much sauce or as little sauce as you want. There's no science to this or exact amounts. So now that that is done and mixed up, I'm going to put it on the plate. Okay, a little more because it's for the hubby buns, so he likes his chicken parm. So I'm going to check on my chicken here. Alright, the cheese is melted, but it hasn't started browning yet. So it'll probably be another minute or two before it's ready. I waited a little too long to put the cheese on. I forgot to grate it beforehand and have it ready. So just a point on that. So I'm going to wait another couple of minutes and I'll be back to show you what the chicken looks like. Alright, the chicken is ready to come out of the oven. I'm going to turn off my oven so I don't forget. And as you can see, I've magically transformed into wearing an apron. I forgot to put it on, but I love this apron. It's got pockets and stuff, and it looks cute. Anyway, getting the chicken out of the oven. There you go. See, just a little bit browned. Makes it look really nice. So, I'm going to get these onto the plates and set and ready to go. Alright. Ooh, look at that nice melted cheese. Gonna make a mess. That's just normal. Ooh, that's hot. There we go. Onto there. I've got to cut the little man's chicken up separately, so I'm going to leave that here. I always have a little bit extra for leftovers, so hey, you get to eat it again during the week if you want to. So guys, if you liked this video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And Kimmy, I hope this helps you with your cooking of my chicken parm recipe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye! Say bye!
Bye!
Bye.
Taste.
Good.
I have to take a
Husband?
bite first. Although I eat it every week, so I know it tastes good. But I'll let you know how this particular one tastes.
I like the honey wheat one. Nom, 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 nom.
And I'm Italian.
Oh, we've got 2 thumbs up.
Thumbs up. It's good. The panko breadcrumbs really make a difference. They give it a nice crispy, crunchy outside. It's a little different than what my grandmother made, but it's really good. Definitely worth trying if you haven't done it before.
Well, it happens when you're not Italian, you're German and Norwegian, so, you know, you gotta work at that Italian.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Say bye. Don't pick your nose in the video.